Hey, everybody. It is another Tuesday, which means it's another episode of the Get to Know Her show. I'm so happy you're here today. Like, super happy because I have a surprise guest. I can't even believe that I got this interview. Like, I can't believe it. Before we begin, though, I want to talk to you about our sponsor, Brenda Bedome, who has been so kind and so generous and so amazing, getting me all dolled up with her clothes for each and every segment. I am wearing today one of her beautiful crisp white shirts, and I thought I would pair it with a good old 10-strand necklace, a little vintage glam jewels on the show today. Thank you, Brenda. You are amazing. And Brenda's been so great to all of us. We've had a coupon code going, which is still valid. The coupon code is Get to Know Her. And when you use it, you can get 13% off at brendabedome.com. Now, I need to talk to you about our guests. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm nervous. I'm nervous. So I'm going to give her the intro she deserves. I have written it down, and I'm going to read it to you now. Our guest today, as I said, we did not even think we would be able to get her because this is her busiest time of year. She is in charge of a global manufacturing and distribution company, overseeing a staff of thousands of specialists in such fields as building, logistics, accounting, data entry, inventory control, import, export, and even handling of animals. With all of that said, behind every great man is a great woman. So today, let's get to know Mrs. Claus, you guys. Can you believe it? I am so blown away. Like, Mrs. Claus.
Hey, Monica.
I'm so happy you're here. Now, before we get started, I have to ask you, can you see me okay? Can you hear me out there in the North Pole?
Oh,
Do we have
Monica,
a good connection?
Monica, I can see you, my dear. And Monica, we can always hear you. Always hear you. So my connection from this end is good. Can you hear me?
I sure can. You're coming in loud and clear. Mrs. Claus, before we get started today, I want to just express to you how grateful I am. As a little girl, I was a huge, huge fan of a very important comic book in my life called, hang on a minute, The Archies. And I've kept them all of these you gifted me over Christmas. I'm so grateful. And then one year you absolutely blew my mind when I opened, and I don't expect you to remember, Mrs. Claus, but maybe you will. I opened these up in 1979. Oops. Archie and Betty. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to figure out here we go. Don't they still look great?
Oh, Monica, I'm so proud of you. Some little girls don't take care of their things as well as you did.
Oh,
Very good.
I sure did. I treasure these so much. Thank you. Thank you for making me feel so special all of these years.
Well, that must have been a good year for you, Monica.
Oh, I must have been good that year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not every year has been like that, though, has it?
No, but we don't. Today is about you, Mrs. Claus.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Mm-hmm. So tell us, how's the weather up there in the North Pole?
Well, it's a balmy 27 degrees. But no, wait. You people down there don't know that. It's -3 Celsius, Monica. And let me look out the weather window. It looks like the sun is trying to peek out a little bit for us. So it's a great day here in the North Pole.
Oh, that's so wonderful. I wish I was there with you, Mrs. Claus.
Oh, no, not today, dear. No, you don't want to be here today. No. You just stay there and mind the fort. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, Mrs. Claus, I know you're very, very busy this time of year. So thank you so much for making the time for us. And I want to ask you a question I ask all of my guests, and people are dying to know, what did you want to be when you grew up? What was that little girl wanting to be when she grew up? And we need to let the folks know, when you were a little girl, that's quite a long time ago. That was in the late 1700s.
Mm.
Wow.
Don't I look
Wow.
good?
You look fantastic. So what were the wishes of little you in the late 1700s?
Well, dear, you have to remember, I'm from a very, very different generation. And when I was a little girl, what little girls dreamed of then was to become a good wife and find a good man. I suppose my dream was a little different because I wanted to be a really good wife, really good. And I wanted to be a strong woman for a man who appreciated me.
Oh, that is fantastic. You certainly did accomplish that dream, Mrs. Claus. And can you tell us a little bit about your relationship with Santa and what it was like when you first met? Am I crossing a line, or is that something we can talk about here?
Well, Monica, you're getting rather personal, dear. But it's Christmas. Why not? Now, I have to tell you, I have the list of good girls and good boys in front of me, and it has to be updated all the time at this time of the year. So if you see me looking down, Monica, it's just because I have to keep my list up to date. So please forgive me. I don't want any
No problem.
good little girls or little boys to be missed.
All right,
Um,
Mrs. Claus, you know what I want to say to you? If you find I'm doing something similar, it's because I'm so excited and somewhat starstruck talking to you today. So I wrote my questions out because I don't want to forget one single question, because they're all so important. So thank you.
okay, so we have an
Okay,
understanding.
we
Now,
do.
do we still have to answer that question?
Yes, we
Oh,
do. It's a
all right.
juicy one.
Okay. So back in the early 1800s, Santa hired me to be his secretary. I was responsible for recording important information into the big golden book. I recorded all the children's names, and Santa would tell me if they were sleeping, if they were awake, if they'd been naughty or nice. I had to write down all that information, as I am currently doing now. So, by the way, I did an excellent job, just saying. And so, because I did an excellent job, I was given more responsibility. So, working closely with Santa was a real, real joy most of the time. He was pretty stressed out, and it was great because I could bring him some calm and sort of make some of that chaos go away some days. We became very close friends. And we fell in love. And Santa proposed. And of course, I said, oh, yes. We got married on February 14th, 1815, long time ago.
Wow. Oh, Mrs. Claus, this is amazing. And this story, it's beautiful. It will empower so many women, so many young girls who are watching. I think it's a wonderful love story. And, hey, it could not have been easy for you to be working alongside a man with a lot of stress, and the two of you got through that together and you came out on the other side. I think it's wonderful. I think it is amazing.
Thank you, dear.
So, I have other questions, Mrs. Claus.
Okay,
Are you ready?
Monica, I'm ready.
So, the story, as I said, is so romantic. And I think what all of us want to know, I've been married for how many years? 17 years. You've been married for a lot longer than that many years. So has it always been sunshine and rainbows, Mrs. Claus?
Certainly not, dear. No. We can all strive towards sunshine and rainbows, but there are days where those big black clouds come rolling in. Santa can be somewhat stubborn as a bull moose at times. But before I came along, things were much worse. And then I showed up on the scene. And yes, we've had some growing pains, haven't we all? After spending a whole year at the North Pole managing the elves, dressing the dolls, checking Santa's list a second, and I have to admit, third, fourth time, I'm a little anal that way. I wanted to go along on the adventures delivering the gifts with him. Because, like, I knew everybody from the list. Yeah, I just wanted to be part of that magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. My place was at home. Mm-hmm. So for years I kept saying, oh, come on. Like, is this not my year? No. So the first year I was with Santa, I wasn't really his best assistant. Probably because some could say I didn't take direction well. I gave ribbons to tomboys.
So you actually got to go on the slide. He gave in to you finally.
Well,
he said
finally. Yeah. Like, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would.
Yeah. So
wow. So you did your adventure.
I did my adventure. I don't join him every year.
Yeah.
But you know, some years he gives in.
Wow. I love it. I'm sorry I interrupted you, Mrs. Claus. So you were giving ribbons to...
Oh, no, I was just telling you about what I didn't do well. But, dear, let's not dwell on that, shall we? Let's just move along. Let's just move past that.
Oh, this is such a beautiful story. You are so strong-willed, and it's just so inspiring. Now, are you on schedule for the rollout for this year?
Oh, well, of course. Please, the show must go on. So this year, like, we're super excited, as we get every year.
Yeah.
This year is a little different, though. And you probably noticed, So this year, Santa will be wearing his mask. I will be drenching him in hand sanitizer. He has his measuring tape, so he will be staying 6 feet away from everybody. But I can assure you that we have done everything at the North Pole to keep everybody super, super safe. So all the kids of whatever age they happen to be will be receiving very, very safe gifts from Santa. And the excitement will be just the same as in the past.
Oh, that is so fantastic. I love it. Now, will Rudolph be leading the crew as usual?
Monica. Of course. Of course. Rudolph is tradition. And besides, he's been polishing that nose for months. So Rudolph will be right out front with his nose right.
Oh, that's so fantastic. And I hear he had a birthday recently, Mrs. Claus.
Well, you know, Monica, when we get to a certain age, we don't discuss birthdays anymore. It's known as scorekeeping, and we don't need to keep score. But just to say, let's say that if Rudolph was getting a COVID vaccine, he would be near the front of the line, dear. I can't disclose any more than that. He would get upset. You understand.
That's fantastic. Oh, gosh. We're all really excited for Santa's arrival, of course. And everyone, as you know... I'm
excited to see him on his way, too, dear.
I'm sure you are. So people are getting ready. Some people are serving him up hot chocolate. They like to leave treats for him, so he keeps energized on his route. Can you tell us what his favorite cookie is? Now, assuming that there are many, many people watching today, which I'm sure, maybe there's more than one. Let's assume there's more. There are many people watching today, and they're all going to bake this cookie. What is the one cookie he could eat over and over again and be delighted with?
Well, I will answer that question, Monica, but let me just preface by saying, gosh, it would be lovely if some of the little boys and girls would leave out some shortbread for Mrs. Claus with a little sign that says, "Don't touch poison," and then he could bring them home for me. Just saying. Now, as far as Santa goes, gingerbread, I have to tell you, dear, gingerbread is his favorite. His
Is
favorite.
it?
He likes it in quantity, though. So those gingerbread houses, you know, the ones that they build that are about this high? Yeah,
Yeah.
those ones are great because then, you know, he has lots to eat and I'm not around, so he doesn't have to share them. Hence my comment about the shortbread. Yes, gingerbread is his favorite. Shortbread is
Oh,
mine. So we're a bread kind of family.
I love it. Oh, that's so great. Now, is it true that Santa's helpers, and you are not human?
Monica,
Is that true?
Monica, that question could be somewhat crossing the line, dear. Suffice to
All
say
right.
that Santa and all of his little helpers, you know, the little short ones, yes,
Yeah.
they're all very, very magical. Very magical.
Oh.
Every ounce of them is very magical. I, on the other hand, no. I am half human most days, and half elf. And I'm really not
Oh.
sure if that's top to bottom, side to side, round to round. I lose track, but I'm sort of a half and half kind of girl. Mhm.
Wow, this is fantastic. There are so many facets to you I had no idea about. I am in awe of you, Mrs. Claus. This is
Oh,
wonderful.
Monica, the facets grow, dear, the more shortbread I eat.
So, Mrs. Claus, is there ever summer in the North Pole?
Yeah, it was for 20 minutes. I think back in March the 13th at about 10:03 to 10:23. We had summer. Mhm. Thank you for asking, dear, and reminding me of what I'm missing. Mhm. Yeah.
Mrs. Claus, anytime you want to come down and spend a summer at our family cottage, it's on. I've got lots of sunscreen. We'll keep you well protected. And we've got candy canes. Whatever it is you need while you're visiting, I'm happy to accommodate.
Oh, well, you know, as Santa does, dear, in some of those old movies, all I need to do is go like this and poof, I can be there. So you be careful. You be careful
Okay.
because poof, I can be there.
That would be the most exciting thing in the world.
Would it not?
So, is it okay if I ask you another question about Santa?
Yes, fine. Go ahead.
When he is just around the house doing his thing on a regular day, does he wear jeans or PJ pants?
Oh, well, let me see. You know, he has really quite lovely knees. So normally you can find him when he does wear something. He wears shorts.
He
Yep.
does in the
Not the
cold.
Bermuda ones, dear, but you know those Adidas? What did they call them? Adidas shorts with the three stripes? Those are his faves. I think they could be getting a little bit small. So if anybody wants to leave a pair of Adidas shorts with the gingerbread, I'd appreciate it. Short.
That's wonderful. Oh, God. And I'm sure they must be red satin, those shorts.
Not pretty, dear. Not pretty. No.
Mrs. Claus, who is your best friend?
Well, you know, you have to choose your friends very carefully, dear. And I would have to say that my best friend would be the Sugar Plum Fairy because she bakes and makes the best treats and she needs to practice all year round. And I am her quality control go-to girl. So the Sugar Plum
Oh.
Fairy happens to be my bestest friend. Lucky me. Lucky her.
Oh my goodness. I would love it if you and the Sugar Plum Fairy did some sort of a Instagram show or a Facebook show, something like we're doing right now. You
Wouldn't
two would be so much fun to watch. I would
Mhm.
tune in every week.
Well, dear, you leave that with me. I'll take it under consideration.
Okay, excellent.
Don't follow up.
Now, I have another question. I don't know if you can answer this. We don't want to hurt any feelings, but do you have a favorite reindeer, Mrs. Claus, or can we go there?
Well, dear, you know, it's always good to have a B team. B teams are very important because they can step in at the most, oh, needed time. They can step in case of emergency. They can step in when somebody, like, one of the male reindeer has a cold. So my
Yeah.
favorite reindeer is Clarice.
Clarice.
She's on the B team. You've probably seen her in the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movie. She and Rudolph have been an item for quite some time. So Clarice and I, being the B team, are quite tight. So she's my favorite.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow. There are some dynamite powerhouse women up there in the North Pole.
Oh, you have no idea. Or maybe
Wow.
you do. Mm-hmm.
Now, Mrs. Claus, what is it that you would like for Christmas? If you could have anything you wanted, what would be the number one thing on your Christmas list?
Well, dear, 2020 has been a very, very different year for a lot of us. It's been very difficult. So what I would really like for Christmas is I would like to have this terrible little bug, whatever it is, COVID-19, I think it's called. I would really like it to go away. And when it goes, it can take some of the other things with it. Things like, those heart attack things, those diseases, those things that make people sick and unwell, and the people around them so worried and so unhappy. I would like to see all those things just get lost. That's what I'd like for Christmas, Monica. And the sooner the better.
What a generous and kind woman you are to want that for everyone else. That's so beautiful.
Well, I think a lot of people share that, though, Monica. I think a lot of people are hoping for that for Christmas, too. There's a lot of that going under the tree that I really, really hope it gets unwrapped.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Mrs. Claus, it might be difficult for you to go there, but we're going to take that as your number one wish.
Mm-hmm.
But if there was something that was just for Mrs. Claus and nobody else, you have to try to be selfish right now, which I know is not in your nature. What would you want for Christmas?
I think a spa year would be nice, Monica.
That came out pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of things about spa days. No, nothing proper can be done in a day. I'm thinking a year, just to get it right. And of course, I would take my friends with me because we all need to practice together. But a spa year, 365 days.
Wow. My goodness.
That
sounds fantastic.
Nobody's ever asked me.
Oh, well, you're very welcome. I think you need to write that down somewhere.
Oh, don't worry, dear. It's written
now. Your darling husband, does he work? Mm-hmm. Does he only work one night a year, or does he work other days as well?
Well, not to sound too self-serving, dear, but before I came on the scene, yes, he worked every day, 24 hours a day. When I came along with my organizational talents and my attention to detail, Santa only needs to work one night a week because, one night a year, pardon me, because he has me. So yes, he works one night a year, and that's more than enough because, the poor little fellow gets tired.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I would love to see your work area, your Excel documents, whatever it is you're using up there in the North Pole. You could actually teach female entrepreneurs how to stay organized, how to run a company. Like you have such a wealth of knowledge. I mean, and the power you have to delegate, which I think is a big struggle for a lot of women. You have mastered that. The elves do they always do what you say, Mrs. Claus, the elves?
No.
Oh boy.
No.
Good so grief. You do have.
Would that not be boring, Monica? No.
That's true. Right. So human resources is a part of the
yes.
part of the company.
Yes. Team building, raw. Yes. Action plans. Mm-hmm. And lists.
Excellent.
A lot of lists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. What do you reward the elves with for getting a job well done? Is there something that they really love?
They love coming to work.
They love coming to work. That's
So,
amazing.
if you can find something that you love to do, that in itself is reward enough. And really, up here at the North Pole, that's the way it is. We appreciate
Oh,
everybody. They love coming to work. They love each other, and they see the joy that their work brings to all the children at heart once a year.
oh,
So, yeah.
oh, Mrs. Claus, fantastic. What a great company you're running up there.
Thank you.
Now, will you be joining Santa this year for making the deliveries, or what kind of a year is it for you guys?
Well, not this year, dear. I'm actually really banking on that spa year thing. So I have a lot of things to plan for the 26th of December. But Santa really needs me here at the helm. I like to call it Command Central.
Mm-hmm.
He needs me to make sure that the checklists are getting done by him and the little fellows. He wants to make sure that everybody has, goodness knows, he has to make sure he has lots to eat, and that the reindeer also have lots to eat. So I have to make sure that the sleigh gets properly packed, and that there's provisions, planted at different places around the world so he can pick them up as he's going. We don't want him to get dehydrated.
Right.
I'm also responsible for radar, weather navigation, the little things that might interrupt a sleigh. And I've learned that, being Santa's navigator, or I guess you'd call it nowadays his GPS.
Uh-huh.
I'm his personal GPS, and you may understand this, dear. It's sometimes better that I do that from here versus sitting beside him in the sleigh. I've been known to be a bit of a backseat driver, one might say. So it's quite cozy here. I can send my directions, and he can follow them.
That is magnificent. You're not alone in that, Mrs. Claus. There are a lot of us women out there who our favorite place with our man is not beside him in a car.
No.
Doesn't matter how much we love him.
No.
That's not our favorite place. No.
We've had a lot of requests for duct tape and earplugs this year, dear. So I think you might be right on the money there.
Oh, Mrs. Claus, you are amazing. This has been an absolute pleasure. I know how crazy busy you are. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today during your crunch time, and also for sharing some very personal things with us that, were not easy, but wow, you really opened up, and we love your honesty and your candidness. And we are all wishing Santa a safe trip. We know he's in good hands with you at the helm. And I just wondered, is there any special message that you want to give our viewers today before they go? Anything at all?
Well, Monica, I knew you were going to ask me this question, dear. And so in between lists, I actually made a few notes because I want to get this right, because this is important stuff. So,
yeah,
excuse me as I refer to okay, that's the bad list. That's the good list. Oh, here it is. I'll refer to my notes. To all the good girls, the young ladies, and the women who are watching today, if there's one valuable lesson that I've learned from working with Santa and all of his helpers, it's this: believe in magic. Believe in magic. Young children believe in magic because it's effortless. It's no work for them. As you get a little bit older, everything's work. Finding time to think about anything other than the things on your list is work. So we stop believing as we get older. But magic is present when we fall in love, when we get a job that we've always wanted, like the one I have, when a sick person feels better, and when a four-legged furry little friend might come into your house and make everybody's life so much happier. So we have to have the strength and the power to create our own magic. Magic doesn't arrive like an Amazon package at your door. Now, I'm not quite sure what Amazon is, dear, but anyway, people have told me about it. But it doesn't come falling from the sky. we have to look in the mirror, find the strength, find the power, because it's all in there, and make the magic happen. So you must believe in the person in the mirror and make it happen.
Oh, Mrs. Claus. Wow. I'm so happy that this is something we keep up all year round, because I know I'm going to listen to those words that you just spoke over and over again all year when I forget about the magic, as a great reminder. Oh, wow. Very powerful, Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Claus, I want to invite you to an Instagram after party. Now, I don't want you to get nervous. I know it's probably not something you've ever done before, so don't worry about it. I'm going to guide you through. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're even going to have time to get yourself a little drink of eggnog, whatever it is you need, what your go-to after party drink. And I just got to check my notes and make sure there isn't anything I forgot.
I have a question for you, Monica.
Yes.
What would you like for Christmas this year, dear? Can't seem to have found your list.
Oh, wow. So funny you should say that, because I kind of did a bad thing. I compared myself to Santa. I'm so sorry. I've been making and wrapping and using my hands, and I'm still at it, Mrs. Claus, so I haven't even had time to think about what I want. But you know what I would love to do? I would love to join you on that 365-day spa.
My dear, consider it done.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
That would be amazing, to be in your company and getting massaged and scrubbed and steamed, and oh my gosh, I think we'd have a lot of fun.
The only rule is, when you do something fun, Monica, you always have to take a friend.
Exactly.
So I'll take you as my friend. Now your job is to find a friend to take, and they have to bring a friend. Fun always involves bringing a friend.
Perfect.
Okay?
And I would just like to say it is an honor to now be your friend, Mrs. Claus. Thank you.
Well, right back at you.
Mrs. Claus, I'm going to say goodbye here for now, but you hang tight in the virtual back room, and then I'm going to say goodbye to the good girls and boys, and then I'll give you instruction. Yes.
Monica, I'm sorry to interrupt, dear, but
yes,
I have
please.
one last thing on my list.
Oh.
That I need to mention. And this is very important. So you in particular have to pay attention. You paying attention here?
Yes.
Don't be looking at your phone or anything that you need to do next.
No,
this is important.
I am paying attention.
So my dear Monica, to you I want to say thank you. Not only for inviting me today to be your special Christmas guest, and I hope I haven't disappointed you, but also for all that you do every day to bring sparkle and joy to all of your glam girls. I hope you know how important that is, my dear, and how much, as they're scrolling through Face something or other, and they see your posts and they see your smiling face, how much joy that brings to their hearts. So thank you for doing that. And Santa and I, of course, were talking about this the other night, so I have to tell you how proud Santa and I are of you, Monica, for your kindness and your generosity that you show to all of your friends in the community at a time when they so often need a hand up. When they're going through difficult times, Monica is there with Glam Jewels at the ready to help them at a time when things don't look so great. So we're very proud of you, my dear friend. Keep up the good work, and we'll see you at the spa.
Mrs. Claus, you're making me cry.
Happy tears?
Thank you.
Happy tears?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Grateful tears. Thank you.
Okay, Monica.
I love you.
Love you too.
Bye,
Merry
Mrs.
Christmas,
Claus.
everybody.
Merry Christmas, Mrs. Claus.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, Mrs. Claus just made me cry. That was amazing. Oh, isn't she wonderful? She's everything I dreamed she would be. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here today. Share this video with everybody who needs a little Christmas magic. And oh, I just love you guys so much. Thank you, thank you. And please go and check out brendabadome.com, our amazing sponsor who I love so much. And use the coupon code Get to Know Her for 13% off of your order. I will leave all her details. And if you do happen to be watching this on YouTube, I would love, love, love for you to subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for being here, and come on over and join us for an Instagram after party with Mrs. Claus. I'm going to see if I can dig some more secrets out of her, and just keep on showing the world your sparkle. I love you guys so much. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Have a very, very safe and wonderful Christmas, and don't forget to look for the magic. Bye for now.